Hello and welcome, people of the internet, and I am very sad. I am really sad because I'm a big fan of the Elder Scrolls series. I've played Arena, Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim, and I'm a big fan of MMORPGs. So one would think that when they take the Elder Scrolls and make it into an MMO, I would play it until I die. And I thought that it might happen, The Elder Scrolls comes out and I will quit WoW and I will sink my time into that instead. But ever since I received the email offering me the Imperial Edition, I started doing some research basically, because it felt really dodgy, In order to play the Elder Scrolls Online, you have to buy the game and then you have to pay $15 a month as a subscription fee. And if you want to play an Imperial, you have to pre-order the game. So you're telling me that if I buy the game, I buy the normal edition, then I'm paying a subscription fee. I am being denied an entire race because I'm not willing to pay you $100 for an MMO and then pay you a subscription fee. And let me ask you something. Why is the beta so heavily NDA'd? Why is ZeniMax scared of beta testers showing what the game is like? Why are the only gameplay videos from convention where the company has a complete control over what's happening in them? Why? Is it because of spoilers? Well then put NDA on anything that might be a spoiler, like Guild Wars 2 did it. ArenaNet allowed people to experience certain parts of the content, and they either cut out or NDA'd anything that would spoil the game. That's the way to do it. So that's the first thing that rings an alarm bell, just heavy NDA on anything. The next thing is, in the previous video where I talked about the pre-order, I was worried that the Imperial race wouldn't be just a reskin of a race that's already in the game, like Nords with different face expressions or different hair. And I did a bit of research and I'm gonna read something to you. Play as an Imperial and play in any alliance. Gain unique bonuses, crafting styles, gear, and more. So apparently no, the Imperials are a completely different race with different spell sets, with different crafting styles, gear, with different bonuses. Do you know what that causes people to do? It causes them to scream pay to win. That's what it does, and they have the right to do so, because if they have unique bonuses, gear, crafting style, and more, they will be better at something. It doesn't matter what it is. If they have more health, they are better tanks. If they have a unique spell that does certain amount of DPS, people will call it overpowered. Different crafting styles, different gear, is it better? Is it the same? Does it look different? Does it look better? And more? What is more? People will scream pay to win, because if the Imperials have more health, they are better tanks. So people will yell from the rooftops that if you want to be a tank, you have to pay to win. You need to be an Imperial. If they have better healing, then people once again will cry from their rooftops that you need to pay to win to be an Imperial if you want to be the best healer in the game. That's really bad. That is really bad. Plus, the simplest thing, such as being part of any faction, gives Imperials an advantage. Because when you look at a game like World of Warcraft, you have a clear indication whether the character running towards you is a friend or foe. You have a nameplate above his head, or if you turn the nameplates off, you have a massive red text above his head, or green if he's friendly. In Elder Scrolls Online, you don't have that. So, when a Khajiit is running towards you, you're like, oh, that's a Khajiit, I'm gonna kill that. Oh, that's a Nord, he's friendly. He's an Imperial, is he he just breathed an axe in my face, just lovely. That's an advantage. So that rings another alarm bell. And the third alarm bell is probably the most important. They're trying to please the single player fans and the MMO fans, and that doesn't work. If you think that that can work, look at the Old Republic. The same thing will happen here. It will. You're working with two completely different crowds of people. And I know it because I'm part of both of them. Okay? I'm a big Elder Scrolls fan and a big MMO fan. And as an Elder Scrolls fan, I want to be in the world of Elder Scrolls alone. I want to do quests, I want to do bad decisions, I want to pick flowers, I want to mine ore, I want to do dungeons. What I don't want is some random Yahoo running around in a loincloth trolling me. No, I just want to enjoy the leveling experience. But as an MMO player, I want to just blaze through the content, bulldoze it as fast as I can, and do endgame. And you can't satisfy both of them. Because eventually, one of these types of people, either the Elder Scrolls fans or the MMO fans, will have nothing else to do. And the first group that finishes the content aimed at them will either kill your game or they will sell your game. Because when you're done, when you're an MMO player, you blaze through the content and there is one raid. You do that one raid and you're like, is that it? Yes, that's it. Okay, to the forums. This game has no endgame content, don't bother to play. And that's it. They will bash the game, people will read it, and they won't buy it. And if the other crowd, the single player Elder Scrolls fans, finish the story and there is nothing else to do for them, they will do the same thing. They will go to the forums and they will go, this game doesn't have enough compelling leveling content or enough quests for you to be interested, don't bother to play. And they will kill your game. And one of those two things will sadly happen. You can't please two completely different crowds. That's a thing that not even Blizzard tries to do with World of Warcraft. Now that might sound weird, but with Elder Scrolls Online, you have single player fans. Okay, people that are used to play alone. And then you have MMO players that are used to just bulldoze content and do endgame. In World of Warcraft, you can categorize those people into three groups, let's just say. You have casuals that, can do pet battles or collect resources, and sometimes they might dip into LFR or random battleground. Then you have normal people that are kinda into the game and, they have professions and, they're doing normal battlegrounds and they feel really good, they're doing dungeons. And then you have hardcore players that do heroic content, they do challenge modes, they do arenas, and, just the end game stuff, the best they can do. And these three kinds of people are closer to each other than the two kinds of people Elder Scrolls is trying to put together. Because Blizzard realized that they can't go out of the boundaries of an MMO. Okay, if you play World of Warcraft alone, it's a pretty boring game. That's because Blizzard is aware that if you spread your game too thin and you're starting to reach for other genres, it doesn't work because the layer of content is too thin and people are bored because these different groups of people now have less content because you're trying to appeal to different demographics. So they just stuck with the MMO crowd. And it's true, even if you're a casual gamer and you don't really like to play with other players, you pretty much have to. If you want to get gear, you have to do LFR, there's 24 more people there. If you want to do pet battles, you can play against other players. Dungeons, battlegrounds, everything. Or the auction house. But they're not trying to appeal to a single player fan. If someone's interested just in single player, I don't think he will find World of Warcraft very appealing. And that's good, that's how you do it. But Elder Scrolls Online, sadly, in my opinion, will just fall flat as mud runs down its face in front of the World of Warcraft cave because they thought they can best it. And it hurts my heart. It really does. It just breaks my heart. But it will fail. It will die. It will die. Eventually. If they don't do anything, if they keep doing what they're trying to do, it will die. It will fall flat on its face in front of the World of Warcraft cave. It's really sad. It really, really is.